What is NHCP, or National Historical Commission of the Philippines? The National Historical Commission of the Philippines is a government agency of the Philippines. Its mission is the promotion of Philippine history and cultural heritage through research, dissemination, conservation, sites management, and heraldry work. As such, it aims to inculcate awareness and appreciation of the noble deeds and ideals of our heroes and other illustrious Filipinos, to instill pride in the Filipino people and rekindle the Filipino spirit through the lessons of history. One of the best landmark in Luzon is the Santa Maria Church. The Church of Our Lady of the Assumption, Nuestra Señora de la Asunción, commonly known as the Santa Maria Church, is the parish church of Santa Maria in Ilocos Sur Province, Philippines. The church was designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site on December 11, 1993, as part of the Baroque Churches of the Philippines, a collection of 4 Baroque Spanish-era churches. On top of the religious significance, many of the Philippine churches are also world famous for their architectural feats. UNESCO recognized 4 of the country's churches as World Heritage Sites, as all 4 exemplify the Baroque style that the Spaniards brought with them during the colonial period. One of these 4 churches is the Nuestra Señora de la Asunción Church, or more commonly known as the Santa Maria Church, hailing from the municipality of the same name in Ilocos Sur. Seated on top of a hill, the Santa Maria Church watches over the whole town and continues to serve as a window to the country's past.
The Juan Luna Shrine. It is the birthplace of Juan Luna, one of the country's national hero, and is famous for his painting. The Spolarium. Juan is also the brother of General Antonio Luna, who also fought for the Philippines' independence against the Americans. Juan Luna Shrine is a must-see place within Ilocos Norte. The Juan Luna Shrine is a 2-story structure made of clay bricks and mule boots. This restored ancestral home of the Luna clan is itself a life-size historical artifact that speaks of affluence and classic elegance. The first floor is where the treasure trove and collections is categorically displayed, while the second floor is divided into 4 sections: the living room, the bedroom, the chapel, and the bisotia.
The city of Manila is known for so many things: cool museums, preserved Spanish structures, the world's oldest Chinatown, and the historic sites where some of the most significant events in the Philippine history took place. Also known as Luneta Park, Manila iconic 58-hectare park is considered as one of the most historical places in Manila because this is where Jose Rizal was executed on December 30, 1896, the day that led to our revolution. His remains were dumped in an unmarked grave at the Paco Cemetery, but in 1898, it was transferred to the Rizal Park Monument in Luneta under American rule.
The Quepayo Church is the one of the oldest and most beautiful brick church in the Bicol region. Because of this, it was declared as a National Historical Landmark. It was founded in 1578 by Franciscan missionaries and constructed using brick in 1616. Famously known as one of the oldest church in the Bicolandia, the Immaculate Conception Church, also known as a Quepayo Church, was established by Franciscan missionaries who flocked to Bicol region in 1578. The Archbridge of Church remains intact after almost 500 years of existence, as one of the earliest brick church which were built by the Spaniards. This church was become an enduring symbol of Christianization of Bicol region by virtue of Presidential Decree NR 1505 DTD June 11, 1978. This church was declared by National Historical Institute as National Historical Landmark.
The Pila Historic Town Center is a historic district located at Barangay Santa Clara Norte, Pila, Laguna, Philippines. The district preserves examples of Spanish and American-era architecture found in its town proper laid out with the Spanish colonial town planning system for the Indies and is also a pre-Hispanic archaeological site. The National Historical Institute, now the National Historical Commission of the Philippines, declared a specific portion of Pila as a National Historical Landmark in 2000.
Casa Real is a shrine dedicated to the 20 women of Malolos, who loved to establish the first adult school for women in 1889. Despite much resistance from the Spanish friars and even the Governor-General of the Philippines, for their efforts, they were praised by reformists Jose Rizal, Graciano Lopez Jaena, and Marcelo H. del Pilar. The privately funded school was short-lived, however, as it was ordered closed by church officials after only 3 months due to accusation of immoral teaching and eating meat on days of absence.
Dalazatin House, historical landmark in San Fernando City. Dalazatin House is one of the 2 heritage houses owned by the Dalazatin family in the city of San Fernando, Pampanga province in the Philippines. This is a central house which exemplifies the type of bahay na bato. Architecture prevalent during the American colonial period was declared a heritage house by the National Historical Institute on January 27, 2003. By virtue of Resolution No. 6 S 2003, presently, this essential house and majority of Sifulasco is still owned by the surviving members of the Dalazatin family. The Dalazatin House is part of the ATOP benchmarking, along with a lecture on heritage tourism by City Tourism Officer Chin Pangilinan, a stop at the Metropolitan Cathedral, a Kalesa tour of the city, Kapampangan lunch at Everybody's Cafe with a cooking demonstration by Poch Horolan, and a lecture and lantern demonstration at Rolren's Lantern. Welcome to the capital town of Malolos City, Bulacan, Philippines. The Malolos Historic Town Center is the historic district located in downtown or Old Town Center of the capital town of Malolos City, Bulacan, Philippines. Commonly called Kamistisuhan or Pariancelo District of Malolos with its collection of Spanish and American-era houses and government structures, as well as being the birthplace of the first Philippine Republic, the Malolos Constitution, and being the capital of the Philippines from 1898 to 1900. The National Historical Institute, now the National Historical Commission of the Philippines, declared the downtown Malolos City as a National Historical Landmark and a Heritage Town date August 50, 2001. Malolos, officially the City of Malolos, in Tagalog, Lungsod ng Malolos, is a third-class component city and the capital of the province of Bulacan, Philippines. According to the 2020 census, it has a population of 261,189 people. Malolos was the site of the Constitutional Convention of 1898, known as the Malolos Convention, that led to the establishment of the First Philippine Republic at the sanctuary of Barasuain Church. The convent of the Malolos Cathedral served as the presidential palace at that time. Malolos gave birth to the first constitutional republic in Asia.
The town of Taal is located atop rolling hill in the province of Batangas. Taal is a small town with lots of historical sites. Witness and feel the old days during Spanish period, preserve architecture during the early days. Being about a 2-hour drive from Metro Manila, Taal is an easy getaway from the concrete jungle and chaos there, a much closer alternative to the better-known heritage from town Vigan. There are many tourist-oriented businesses. You may find a heritage house with a cafe or a bed and breakfast in it. So, what are you waiting for? Visit the town of Taal for a better view and for a better experience. The Casa de Segunda, also known as Luz Katigbag House, is a heritage house museum located along Rizal Street, Lipa City, Batangas. It was built during the 1860s and owned by Don Manuel Mitua de San Miguel, Luz and Doña Segunda Solis Katigbag, Dr. Jose Rizal's first love. The house was repaired in 1956 by Paz Luz de Nayuga and was eventually declared a National Heritage House by the National Institute. At present, the house was converted into a museum. The family intended to make it a vacation house for the Luz Katigbag families, but after it was restored, people started coming. They opened it to the public, believing that Filipinos could do something not only about their families but the history of Lipa.